Ariadne Arm by Kelly Merrill. Chapter X1. The City Breathes. The city wakes slow, not in jolts, but in swells of motion, a presence stretched across streets and towers, breathing smog and metal. Ariadne watches from above, perched in the reflection of a cracked window on Monroe Street. Steam rises in plumes from the alleys where pedestrians gather, faces pale in the filtered sunlight, breath catching in the cold. She follows them barely, moving, observing. A worker, jacket stained with grease, steps from the hovercar hub, scanning his datapad. His eyes flicker, registering traffic, the hum of drones above, the faint glint of cameras on every corner. Across the street, a cluster of drainers sit slouched, wires trailing from their necks into ventricle assist devices. VADs. Chests heaving in shallow pulses. The hum is low, almost musical, as if the devices themselves are inhaling and exhaling with the city. Pastry smoke mingles with ozone, rising from a cart painted bright red and yellow. A woman hands over credit chips, hands shaking slightly, scent of sugar and burnt dough clinging to her coat. Children dart around her legs, shoes scuffling pavement, laughter clipped by the drone buzz above. One stumbles near the drainers, pauses, staring at the devices with wide eyes. Ariadne traces the pulse of the VADs, noting the micro shudder of pleasure, the momentary blinking of attention, the tilt of their heads. Through the retrofitted towers, tube coils like veins, pipes glinting silver, vents puffing steam. Glass faces of corporate offices reflect the muted sun, sickly gold over grime and wet concrete. Hovercars glide overhead in arcs, slow but deliberate. Engines humming, warning lights flickering. Pedestrians glance up reflexively, then return to their own rhythm, coffee in hand, data screens glowing faintly in their palms. Ariadne tracks the small shifts, the man tapping his fingers against the tablet, the woman shifting weight from one foot to the other, the child picking up a piece of litter and examining it curiously before tossing it into a puddle. Everything is a pulse, a moment of life, a thread of pattern. She notes the subtle sway of a billboard on State Street, the flicker of neon in a second-story window, the scuff of shoes against metal grates, the creak of hovercar lifts. Steam curls from vents like smoke from incense, the smell mingling with exhaust and the faint tang of antiseptic from a nearby clinic. Two men argue quietly, gestured, clipped, voices low. Ariadne registers tonal fluctuations, micro-gestures, the unspoken negotiation of power. A group of office workers move past, synchronized in their pace, masks covering their faces, their eyes flick forward. A street performer, a thin man balancing on stilts, wires trailing from a VAD strapped to his chest. The performance is ignored mostly, except by Ariadne, who catalogs each movement, the tension in the performer's shoulders, the faint tremor in his fingers, the pulse of the device against his sternum. Somewhere, near the river, a patrol drone arcs low, scanning license plates, faces, and drone IDs. The construction site hums, cranes swinging heavy loads, bolts of metal clinking together. Ariadne notices the workers, adjusting visors, rubbing gloved hands together, speaking softly into earpieces. The city is layered, life and machinery, chaos and rhythm intertwined. Across the river, a retrofitted building glows faintly with neon under the clouds, tubes venting steam, machines blinking, panels cycling through heat and pressure reading. Ariadne registers vibration in the concrete, the subtle pulsing of energy, and compare it to the human rhythm around her. The two beat in sync, city and people, machines and breath. Hovercars begin queuing at the intersections. Pedestrians shift, pause, glance up. Children dart into crosswalks, glances, quick, playful. The smell of roasting coffee beans hits a street corner. A man orders quickly, cash exchanged in seconds. The coffee hot in his gloves, the cup steamed. Ariadne notes the minutiae, the tilt of his head, the crease in his forehead, the way the light catches the condensation on the cup. Every alley, every vent, every corner Ariadne catalogs. The city is a pulse of life, filtered, retrofitted, controlled. but living. A dog trots past, tethered to its owner, nose sniffing the cracked concrete. Drainers twitch in rhythm to the machines, a counterpoint to the human motion, their eyes half-lidded, absorbing their own euphoria. Somewhere above, a billboard cycles advertisements, synthetic food, neural implants, corporate propaganda, the flicker barely noticeable. Pedestrians glance up and look away. Ariadne tracks the micro-gestures of engagement. Head tilt, brief glance, shrug attention, lost to the next motion. And somewhere, distant, a subtle hum, bloodline activity, a shadow of planning, movement unseen. Ariadne senses the tension beneath the mundane, beneath the carefully regulated rhythm. The city moves forward, oblivious and precise, each step, each breath, each hum a thread in a web that will snap just beyond tomorrow.